Everybody hear me okay? Some places can't post comments. All right. Oh, yeah. Little lettuce, baby. Little lettuce. All right. We'll see how many people we can get in here before we get going. We're back, and I am in a very uncomfortable spot. I'm in my dining room at my new place. Just got moved up yesterday. This is in my dining room. My office is full of boxes. So, yeah, how do I? Okay, perfect. All right, well, let's get going. We got a lot to cover here. First race we can bet on. My hair's everywhere. All right, everybody. Happy race day, 2024. We got the Vegas race. I think we can make some money. So let's do the pull, man. Collective clink. Cheers. Taking a pull. All right, let's get right into it. Driver rundown. First, let's talk about practice. Practice. We talk about practice, yo. What assumptions are we going to make about practice yesterday? Okay, there's a couple of things I want to go over, and I want to hear your everyone just trying to get bets going right now. Let's lay some stuff, just some assumptions that we need to make about practice. Number one, Group A faster on the short run than Group B, right? Group A also, no one ran 5 laps, right, to start. They all ran 4 before Priest ran out of talent. So we got that in the background that we need to think about. That also changes the 15 and 20 lap averages, or the 5, 10, 15 lap averages for Group A, right? Everybody with me here? Now, what comes with faster lap times on a green track? They had more grip early on. You even heard Boyer talk about it. You heard Kevin Harvick talk about it during the broadcast, that these are going to be the fastest laps. But that also is going to chew up tires a little bit more. So we would anticipate those cars falling off a little more. We all agree? Can we all get with this? If you disagree, let's hear it. I want to talk it out. But I do think that there's very subtle nuances between these two practices when we're looking at lap times. I think we need to kind of keep that in the back of our minds when handicapping this race. So change that. We there? Does everybody agree? Okay. Now let's just get into the rundown. Well, Joey Logano is starting on the pole. And if you had him early in the week at 20-1, congratulations. That price is no longer available. Joey, in his interview, said, not really good on the short run, but good on the long run. Now, when I'm looking at his lap times, I can see why he said it. He went in and pitted and made an adjustment and came out and ran 5 really good laps late in practice. I do not like this 8-1 price on Joey. I think if you have the 20, you have a good price. I don't know what to think about him. I have nothing on or against Joey Logano. He's just a no bet for me. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not doing that. But how do I take this thing down here? Do I got to click on it? Hide. Okay, there we go. I don't know. I have nothing on nor against Joey. A lot to tinker, but Joey could get out front, clean air. I'll tell you what, after he made those changes, if these changes all of a sudden made his car a lot better, he's going to be good. He's going to be really good, like really, really hard to beat. Okay, moving on. Kyle Larson. Well, is Kyle going to be good today? Weird. He looked good. However, he doesn't hold a candle to the 5 lap averages, 10 lap averages, and 15 lap averages if Ryan Preece doesn't wreck out. Now the track was green. Here's my thought on Kyle Larson. Is he going to be good? Could he go out there and lead a bunch of laps and win? Well, absolutely. He's Kyle Larson. However, he looked better in the fall in practice than he did yesterday. Let me say it again. He looked better in the fall last year when he won stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And he looked better then than he did yesterday. Okay? His price is the same. Also, last year in the fall, he wasn't as good as I thought he was going to be. Yes, I was all over him in every which way. I thought he was going to win by a lot. Look at that hair. Jeez. I thought he was going to win by a lot. However, he didn't. I thought that Chris Bell kind of had a better car all day. And when Brad Keselowski got in front of him, he had trouble passing. He got lucky to win this race. I heard him say it to me when he said, I got lucky to win that race. Is he going to be good? Yes, absolutely. Kyle's going to be good. I just can't justify paying that price. I think if you're going to, play a heavy favorite, I think that Byron has a very similar race car and you get better odds on him. But yes, Kyle is going to be really, really good. Also, temperatures will be much cooler. Kyle's really good at hot, slick tracks. We're not going to see that today. We're going to see cooler, windy conditions. Kyle's going to be good. I do not know if he's going to be as good as he was last year. Austin Cindric. Well, this guy is a great qualifier. I know Highline Betting had him to win the pole. That was a great bet. Great bet. I don't know how he's going to race. He actually looked a lot better than he typically does. We normally see more fall off. He was in Group B, but he was able to sneak out some good laps. Really inconsistent lap times. I have nothing on nor against Austin Cindric. If anything, gosh, I think he's overvalued because of where he qualified. Byron top Chevy 3-1. That's pretty good. I don't think that's available anymore. Where are we at? William Byron. I mean, I think that early in a run, him and Larson are the same. Middle of the run, Larson is better, and late in the run, Byron's better. Okay, do with that what you will. I do have a matchup on him over Denny Hamlin. That price is kind of shot out a little bit, but I do think Byron's going to be good. I think he'll keep mistakes to a minimum and kind of run a Willie B type race. I don't know. If you want to play a favorite, I think his car is very similar to Larson's. I think that price is better. Bubba Wallace. Ooh, Bubba was fast. Now, here's where I want to talk about the difference between A and B. Bubba's A. Had to pit, get another cycle on his tires when he came out for his 5th lap in practice. And he was really solid. I thought Bubba was good on the long run. He looks like he had really stable lap times, which I think is important to a good handling race car. It's when you see these lap times bounce around. It's like, yeah, if they hit it perfect, they can run fast lap times. But if they don't, they're going to lose time to the field. Where I think that, Lane Coyne's got one. All right. Hey, boys. Where I think if A and B are similar and in the fact that, well, not similar. If A fell off more because they were faster in the short run, Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick might be the class of the field. No, bite my head off here. I understand that Larson and Byron are going to be really good. But this A group, Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace were really strong, long run, much better than the other Toyotas. Now, does that mean that you think Denny Hamlin's just going to let 23XI have the key setups? No, I think that there's going to be some guys that change up their setups a little bit before the race today. Denny even said it. But Bubba's going to be good. If he didn't get in that 25-1, I don't like him at 12. It's still Bubba. But man, that car looked fast. Looked really good. Martin Truex Jr. Chase Briscoe. Well, he was really fast. Oh, wow. Ian, Byron still plus 350 top Chevy. That's basically him versus Larson and maybe Chastain, Kyle Busch. Not a bad price. Not a bad price out of that group. If you're going to give me Bodog. I know, that's funny. Thank you. That was a Canadian comment there. Bodog. We don't have Bovada. We have Bodog. Chase Briscoe looked really fast in the short run, fell off in the long run. I don't know that he's going to be that good. If anything, you fade him. I don't think I'm going to have anything on him or against him. Like, you can't bet on him. You just can't trust him this early in the season and the speed. I don't trust him at all. Martin Truex Jr. Well, Marty unloaded average at best and then got a little better and then kind of figured it out in the long run. For having no short run speed, I thought he was pretty good in the long run. He's really good here. By the way, this is a 1.5 mile track. I don't know if you know this or not, but Martin Truex Jr. is good at those. That's funny. We'll get there. We'll get to the whole bet sure do. Steven, you just missed it. I think he's good, but he's not as good as he was last year. So Truex, I think he's going to be really good for an outright price. I gave away a best bet that included him. Check out at bettheboardpod.com for that, or check out mine or Todd's feed. Truex gonna be good. Ty Gibbs, wow, he was really good in the short run. Really good. Can he hang on? I don't know. I don't know if this is the race where he gets it done. Similar, kind of hasn't, his price really hasn't moved, even though he looked good in practice. So we kind of know that he has really a lot of price stability, even if he qualifies well. I don't know. I'm not taking him in matchups just because I don't trust him. I'd rather see him run up front more consistently. Not on Bush, no, Jacob. It's not Martin Truex Jr. on Bush. Let's see. Chris Buescher, man, he just didn't have any long runs in practice. That's what had me a little confused here. 4 laps, pit, 5 laps, pit, 5 laps, and 2 of them not very good. Man, it's so hard to tell where he's at. If you pit that often, it means, I feel like if you pit that often, I can't imagine you're comfortable in your car. I don't think that at all. I think if you're pitting that often in practice, unless you're a guy like Chastain, who does it every week, they just run 5 laps. What's this change do? 5 laps. What's this change do? I don't see that usually out of Chris Buescher. If he's good, he stays out there. So I have nothing on nor against him. RFK, you really haven't seen a price reduction at all. You can, if you're interested in that, maybe outright. I don't trust anyone in matchups that just run 5 laps and then they're out, because you just can't see long run. You're making an assumption that they're good. So Chris Bell. Well, Chris Bell, like all the other Toyotas, just not as strong in the long run. He was better last year here in the fall, in my opinion, in practice. And he usually qualifies better. I know he went early in qualifying, and that really hurt him. These guys that went out early, they, especially in that A group, very difficult. Very difficult. We'll get to Tyler Reddick here in a second. Bell, I actually went against him in a matchup. I'm not sure how comfortable I am, because he just gets better throughout the race. It's all of a sudden Chris Bell is terrible at Homestead, and he just shows up late in the race and pulls it off. He's about to go a lap down. So, sorry, I need a drink. Taking a pull. I'm not as high on Chris Bell as his performance last year. I just think he looked better in practice. He qualified obviously much better. That first pit stall really helps. I'm not high on Chris Bell. I have one matchup against him with someone that I think is a top 3 car. Chase Elliott. Well, I'll tell you what, not bad out of the kid. Not a great racetrack for him, but not bad for the kid. Not bad at all. Pretty good on the long run. Need to see something. If his track history was better here, I'd like him a lot more. His track history here is not good. Even when he was in the final 8 and trying to compete for the final 4, he just straight ran 20th. I couldn't believe that. So, not interested in Chase, but I could see people that liked his lap times. I could see Chase. I could see him. I just don't trust him. He just disappears sometimes. Yeah. Michael McDowell, good on the short run, fell off a little bit more. Didn't seem super optimistic in qualifying. Qualified pretty well. I think that this 34 and 38, they're gonna be better than they've been in the past with a tier 1 relationship with Ford. I gave out that best bet, McDowell over Stenhouse, -110. I mean, that's out to -170, -180 or 90. I like it. I don't love it. I think that Ricky's actually decent. Let's just move in right to Ricky. I think Ricky looks as good as he's looked here in a while, but no top 20s at this track. And whenever I'm high on Ricky, he's out within the first 35 laps of the race. So, hey, no problem on the closing line value. By the way, closing line value, I mean, it's nice. It's better than the opposite, but was that just because I said it? I think that there's an element of that. And I've been wrong before, believe it or not. Been wrong a lot. Yeah, nice new backdrop. Yeah, thanks, Dave. I appreciate that. Let's see. Where are we going? I think Stenhouse looked decent. I'm going to say that. I think Ricky looked decent. And whenever I say that, he tends to not run well. Carson Hocevar. Tell you what, Spire came to play. Spire came to play. Do we trust him? No, we don't trust Carson Hocevar. But he has speed. It'd be interesting to see how these young guys, Carson Hocevar and Zane Smith, how much they learn throughout the race. I think that that's where it's really hard to handicap these guys, because These guys are so green. I know that they both had success in the Truck Series, but this is a completely different animal. This Cup Series. I like Carson Hoceform more than I like Zane Smith. He just drives fast, but he also makes boneheaded mistakes. I think that Zane Smith keeps it on the track a little better. Let's see, where are we at now? Ooh, Ryan Blaney. Now, I was talking to Derek Yoda this morning in the pre-race poll. Ryan Blaney, does he have the most confidence coming into this season? I mean, he was pretty much a non-factor for the first 32 races of the season outside of Charlotte. We didn't have practice there. It would have been interesting to see how well he practiced. He looked really good. I think Ryan Blaney's going to be really good. I know that's not a bold thing to say, but the price is there. He didn't have a great qualifying, but I think long run, he was as good as anybody. I like Blaney. I'm a Blaney guy today. I just think he kind of picks up right where he left off. When Blaney looks bad in practice, he looks bad. He's fadeable. Yeah, 12 to 1's a good price, Brian. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Sing. Yes, Highline, great point. If you have access to live betting, Highline, thank you. If you have access to live betting, you can wait and see. Wait and see what happens if he's moving up, and you can probably snag him at a better price. But I know that Highline has him rated pretty high, and I tend to agree with Highline when we're on the same page. It's a good chance we're on the. I mean, we've been wrong before, but there's a good chance we're on the right side. So I like Blaney. Daniel Suarez. I don't know. Daniel Suarez. Yeah, okay. Highline has him 4th in his model. So I do think JGR picks up and matches 23XI. They get better. I don't think that they match them. I think match would be strong, but I do think that they'll get better. I think they'll get better. Denny Hamlin is not going to sit there and let the team he owns have better cars than him. That's not going to happen. Denny is, yes, he's going to put the team 1B, but Denny is 1A in Denny world. That's without question. Let's see, who was I talking about? Oh, Daniel Suarez. I don't know. I mean, let me find him on here. Hang on. Why not have Suarez's lap times? Oh, there he is. I don't know. Lots of fall off. Not the best Trackhouse car, in my opinion. He was matched up against someone that was a dump truck. Eric Jones, I think. I didn't mind that one. Yeah, I agree. The Zane matchups at top 10, those are a nice start. I agree. Rob, I agree with those. They could be good late. I actually have a matchup on Zane Smith. I can't believe I'm saying that. Suarez, I'm not sure. Corey LaJoy, unloaded fast but fall off. I don't anticipate Corey LaJoy being there at the end of the race. Maybe a 20th place car. Man, Briscoe, I just feel like he has track position. I would not fade Briscoe with Suarez. I just don't trust either of them. If you're, I don't know. I don't trust Suarez. Let's see. I'll get back to that in a second, Brian. Let's see. Corey LaJoy. Yeah, fast and short run. Slowed up. I don't see him obviously running top 20. I think there's some faster cars behind him. Tyler Reddick was really good. I think Tyler's going to be awesome today. He's going to be really good. Now, I like him more in win bets than I do matchups. He likes to make mistakes. So I feel like if you're going to take or get Tyler Reddick on your card, you're going to want to make sure you're doing that with proper payouts, whether it's top 5 or win prices. Now, does that mean he absolutely can go out there and run, 7th or 8th and have a solid day and win matchups? I just think you want to get paid with this guy because there's a chance he could have the race winning car. I like Tyler Reddick today. I think he's a top 5 car. Austin Dillon, I don't know. Austin Dillon probably lots of fall off. This is not an Austin Dillon type track. He's a little better when you have fall off and when the track loses grip later in the runs. That's where he's pretty good. I do not like Austin Cindric top 10 at all. Okay, Ross Chastain. Now, not the practice I thought he was going to have. And I thought about betting this guy earlier in the week. He was 16 to 1. He runs really well here. I I like Chastain. I think that that's one of the best. I'll talk Busch in a second, Sing. If he had qualified a little better, I would talk about him a little sooner. I'll get to Kyle Busch next. But I do think Chastain's going to be good. He's matched up against guys that I also think are going to be good. I do have him top 10. I got the minus 110. I'm not quite sure what else is out there. But I do like the top 10 price. I still think is great at I do like that top 10 price on Chastain. He's going to be there. He'll figure it out. He's good here. And he's a guy that goes out there, runs 5 laps, quits, run 5 laps, quits, so that I'm used to that with him. He figured it out a little later with speed towards the end of the run. So I'm not worried about that. Okay. Kyle Busch did not look good in the short run and really bad in the long run. Does that mean he's going to be that bad? Does anyone know if he was trying a different line? I was not listening to Kyle Busch's radio in practice. If anyone has any comments from him, I haven't seen anything from him at all. So I don't know where he's at. I just don't. Yes, short run speed absolutely was there. Much faster than Blaney in the short run per se. But in the long run, not even close. Not even close. And that's Kyle Busch. And usually he'll get more out of his race car. I do not think he's going to sit there and run 15th or 16th. That's not a thing. However, he does get he wasn't happy in his post-qualifying presser. Okay. He just fell off a lot. I think if you'd asked him 6 or 7 laps into the run, he'd be like, hey, I got a hot rod. And then he wasn't that good. Yeah, Elliott was sneaky good at Highline. I know. Do you trust him yet? Do you trust him? What's your gut tell you on him? I'm not Denny fan this week. That might be my bias kicking in. I faded him with Byron. I'm not Denny fan. Not a huge Kyle fan either, but Kyle could figure it out. I mean, I'll be looking live, obviously. If you have a chance on Kyle live, I do think that if he looks good, you'll know. But he also quits. Daniel, no, I don't think so. I disagree. The smartest guy on here I disagree with, and that probably means I'm wrong. Bowman plus 105 or Reddick. Reddick, I think, is a top 3, maybe a race winning car. I would not fade him. Yeah, and did anyone watch? So in the end of the Xfinity race, Cole Custer went right up there on the fence and was making really good lap time. He was the only guy that did it. I think if that's the case, then it's a Larson Reddick race, right? Let me just I want to get through these. Eric Jones looked really, really bad. They have to make massive changes to this car. I mean, John Hunter Nemechek was good. Eric Jones was bad. Qualified well. I would stay away from that guy. Hardcore. Alex Bowman, sneaky good. Very Alex Bowman type practice. Probably the 4th best Hendrick car, but he figures it out. I think Alex Bowman takes bad cars and makes them better, more so than a guy like Byron. He just figures out a good finish. And if you find himself on the front row with him in a late race restart, look out, because he knows how to get a race, win a race. He beat Kyle Larson at Dover, which is one of Kyle Larson's best tracks, and he's beat Denny Hamlin at Martinsville. And by the way, he's good there too. So I think he's going to be better than where he qualified. Zane Smith, I mean, I think he's going to be good relative to what you think. I think Zane's pretty solid. I trust him as a racer. Does that make sense? If I say that, does that make sense? I trust Zane Smith to keep it on the track and stay on the lead lap. Maybe not lead lap, but I trust him. Brad Keselowski, I cannot imagine him going off at 35-1. I cannot. I just couldn't believe it. I just can't believe the practice. Here's the upside on Brad K fans. He looked bad in the fall practice, and he went out there and led a lot of laps and was really good. Chastain to the rear. Okay, thank you, Andrew. Chastain to the rear. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait and see what that does to prices. Let's wait and see what that does to matchup prices. There might be some value on Chastain now late. That might be a thing. But you're going to need some plus payouts. I played Byron over Hamlin, but I played it at minus 145 last night. Oh, thanks, McCarley. Goat. I appreciate that. Where are we at? Brad Keselowski. Brad looked bad last year in practice. I faded him, and he ran top 3 all day. He looks the same again in practice, starting in a similar spot. I think Brad has a ton of value. Now he could go out there and lay an egg, but at 35-1 and whatever he is, top 3, top 5, top 10. I don't love him in matchups because I think he's matched up against guys that could be pretty fast. But I'd be kind of shocked if Brad sucked today. Knowing we know about Brad, I don't know. Josh Berry. Give me an uphill battle, I feel like, for them. Lots of fall off, pretty standard. Yo, Dan Spider. Outright. I'll give my pick for the win here right at the end. Outright. I'll give that at the end. Barry's going to struggle. I have nothing on him nor against him. If anything, I'd be against him. John Hunter Nemechek looked decent. Looked way, way better than his teammate. I was kind of shocked. Is John Hunter Nemechek really good? John Hunter Nemechek looks solid now. No short run speed, 0. But long run, he kind of hung on. Pretty impressive run yesterday. Kept it up front all day. Picked up a lot of spots early. Be interesting. I don't hate John Hunter today. Denny Hamlin. I mean, did not look good. Said that, the team that adjusts the best overnight has a chance at winning, which throws just that's just him trying to justify that he sucked today because he has to go on his podcast and talk about it. Denny's not going to finish 28th, but you put him back there with a bad pit stall, the mistakes that he likes to make. Denny's got a long way to go. And by the way, I don't know that you can just take 2 tires and pick up a bunch of track position. Imagine taking 2 tires and coming out 8th. You take 2 tires, you pick up 15 spots, but you got all these 4 tire guys behind you. Once you lose 1 or 2 spots, he is going straight to the rear. So I don't like Denny today. I faded him in one matchup with a guy that I think is going to be really fast, potentially race winning. But that number is kind of gone. Don't like Denny. But could Denny go out there and somehow win this race? Yes. He says he never practices well. He says he never qualifies well, but he kind of figures it out late in the race. I still don't think it's a great track for him historically, but he's Denny Hamlin. If you're going to be if you need to go to battle with someone, you want him on your team. That's all I'll say about Denny. Harrison Burton. Ooh, this looks like the slowest car other than JJ Yaley. I mean, he was having a hard time keeping it under 31 seconds in practice. Not good. I do not think he's good. Noah Gragson. Poor guy had to go out first for qualifying right after a dust storm on the back. Here's my prediction with Noah Gragson. I think he finishes the top SHR car today. I am a Gragson apologist. I think he's going to be decent. I somehow think he beats Chase Briscoe. I don't know how. I feel like Noah's going to be good on the long run, especially if that high line comes in. He's as good as anybody. Okay, maybe not as good as anybody, but you know what I mean. I like Gragson. I'm not taking him in matchups. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. Todd Gilliland. Boy, this is kind of a shock. I thought he'd be a little faster. Of course, he made the mistake in practice, and they had to fix that car. But not good. Not good. Kaz Grala, nothing burger. Derek Kraus, nothing burger. Hemrick, nothing. Justin Haley, I feel like, has some upside. I think Ryan Preece is obviously going to race better than 36, but ooh, boy, that's just a tough day. It's going to be really hard for Ryan Preece to kind of battle back. But, whenever something like that happens in a race like Ryan Preece or in practice, they would be so happy with a 15th place finish that they just kind of methodically work up their way. They're very conservative with all their changes. The driver doesn't try to get too much out of the car. And sooner or later, Ryan Preece finds himself in the top 20. And I guarantee you that team will be really happy with that finish. If you have a race winning car, let's say you're Ryan Blaney, you're starting 15th, race winning car. Top 3 is good or great. Top 3 would be great. Top 5 would be good, but top 10 would be mediocre for a guy like him. Ryan Preece is like, shit, if we can get inside the top 15, that would be an amazing day. So they kind of let's just methodically work our way up. Let's not make any mistakes. Let's just be really cautious. Let's take 4 tires. If we think that there's an opportunity to take 2 and pick up a lot, then let's go ahead and do that. But I think that's the race that Ryan Preece is going to run. Unfortunately, we don't know what he had in practice. Is just early on and snapped loose, hit the bumps, and gone. JJ Yaley, a non-factor. All right, let's hear these questions. What did I miss? Oh, my pick to win the race. Oh, man, this is a tough one. A and B is so hard. It's so hard to look at practice times. Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick is my pick. If what we saw in practice, this is the assumption I'm making. And if I'm wrong, someone step in. If I'm wrong, let me know. These cars in Group A had a greener track. They ran faster lap times early in the run, which means when that happens, you're going to wear your tires off more for later in the run. Not to mention, they had a cycle when he restarted his 5th lap. And he hung on for a long time. Him and Bubba hung on for a long time. Now, I still think that Larson and Byron are going to be good. Okay. I think it's just too easy to pick them. I am going to operate under the assumption that Tyler Reddick would have hung on longer than Kyle Larson and William Byron if Larson and Byron were in Group A. I think those two guys might be faster in the short run. Ooh, Bubba over Ross stage 1. How long is stage 1? That might be a good play. I mean, I think Bubba's good. I think that's probably a good price just to start. Now that he's going to the rear, you got to play that. You got to play that. I mean, you got to. Would you take Martin Truex Jr. plus 110 over Logano? No. I think that. So I think. Highline likes that good. Mitch. Yeah, I don't hate Kez top 10. Let's see. What am I missing here? Yeah, watching TSN from now on. Rather bet Larson top 3 than outright. Yeah. I mean, I think he could easily win or finish last. We just don't know. Yodas were better long run cars last year too. That's a good point. Yeah. Doc, thanks. Got great hair. I mean, I'm a little worried about this side. Like, what's going on here? Come on. And what other questions? What am I missing? I just think Tyler Reddick's going to be really good. But here, like what I'm concerned with, I do think a guy like Logano could lead a ton of laps and really mop up the field. He's won here before. Gibbs over Kez stage 1, good. Yeah, probably. I think. There you go, Kyle. And Dave Wood, you should probably jump on that Bet365. If you have Bet365, I don't hate that at all. Just Gibbs keep it on, just keep it on the track. For Bubba. You know, I don't know what kind of swings. Let's just say Chastain he'll have to take 2 tires. So even if you get a restart with 15 to go, how far ahead of him is he going to be? 4 spots? A good car can race through the field. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's hard to win this day and age without the proper Bobby. That is true. Oh my gosh, you're already annoying. You cannot. It's hard to win in this sport right now without the right strategy. Like that's the hardest. But this one, the best car can work their way back up through the field. Yeah, Andrew, I agree. But he looks better in this practice than he did last year. Yeah. Joey down to plus 550 for what? To win? I don't like that at all. Gibbs over catch stage 1. Yeah, I don't mind that either. Yeah, but the 5 Steam commercials, holy smokes, they're the same. All right, any other questions? Let me see if I have a couple messages here. Parlay option MGM Bubba over Gibbs and Reddick over Bowman. Please plus. I mean, I think that's the right side, Mitch. Gregson over Briscoe. Oh, that's so tough. I just don't think you're getting paid enough. I think Gregson has a better car. I think he's better at Las Vegas. Yeah. Do you think with the long run speed at 0.10 in practice, you overcome dirty air? Yeah, I do. Yeah, because you're going to have a higher beta in lap times, meaning you're going to have a higher variance. But I do see what you're saying. If Blaney doesn't make a move, early, it's going to be harder for him to make up that time. But he's in dirty air no matter what. The cars that Blaney, he's going to, I mean, how long is it going to take him to pass Carson Hocevar and Ricky Stenhouse? I don't think super long. Then Michael McDowell is not far behind for him to pass him. I think he's better than Chase Elliott. He's better than Chris Bell. He's better than Chris Buescher. He's better than Ty Gibbs. Better than Truex. Now, you still have to do it. Yeah, I agree with Big Ross. You just can't play it. I just, for some reason, I'm a Gregson apologist. I just think he has a better car than Briscoe. And I trust him on the long run more than I trust Briscoe, but he's too far behind the 8 ball. Yeah. Yes and no. Yeah, next gen long run isn't as valuable for sure. It's not as it used to be. It didn't bother Blaney in the playoffs now, did it? I mean, yeah, I agree. I agree, Big Ross. He didn't qualify great in the playoffs, and he was really fast. So, under 8.5, yeah, not bad. Probably properly. I like the win price more, I guess, if I had to say on Reddick. All right. One more pull. And we'll get out of here unless there's any other questions. I'm excited for the race. A little nervous. Curious to see what happens. Yeah, I think Reddick over Logano. No, gosh, I am not fading Logano. I just can't do it. I think that there's a chance he could lead a lot of laps. I mean, he finishes top 5 when he doesn't look good. Imagine giving Paul Wolfe the first pit stall and Joey Logano's aggressive driving style. I don't know. I just think, yeah, Paul, almost no fall off. At a certain point, he's better than Larson when it comes to fall off. That means you have to be fast. I know that Larson probably burned his stuff off a little sooner, but that just might be Blaney's maturity. Is that a thing? Scarred from last year. Ooh, man, we had a very flat end of the season. And I didn't lose much, just didn't make any money. But I don't know. We'll see. Cheers, everybody. Taking a pull. Good luck.